So today I'm going to talk about branding for coaches and how you can discover what your unique brand is. Branding is something that I love, and it really is the foundation to your business. Okay, so today we're going to do a lot. You know me, I like to dive in. I am going to try to keep it as concise and short as possible. You will get a replay so you can watch that as well. But please stay, because at the end, I want to be able to answer any questions that are coming up for you. So we're going to talk about what a brand is. And I'm just going to give you a disclaimer right now. It's not a logo. Yeah, I know you have a logo that is part of your brand, but a brand is not just a logo. Okay. We're going to talk about what that is and why having a professional brand, and even what a professional brand is, and then discover how you can find inspiration to present yourself as a professional. That is so uniquely based on you, not based on hi, Barbara, not based on what you think it should be. It's totally based on you. We're going to talk about what a brand includes, and then just how to intentionally design your reputation, which is so much fun. So let's just talk about personal and business branding. I used to have those in my program as separate modules, like personal branding and business, but it's just a brand of you. It really is. So it's how people would see you, how they would describe you. Your brand is literally how you live your day to day, right? It's how you conduct your business, but it's also how you conduct yourself, period. Okay. How you operate in your life, no matter where you are. That is the brand of you. I'm always working on improving my brand. I can tell you that, the brand of me, because it is reflective in everything I do. So it's your reputation, it's your word, it's whatever you are already known for, or whatever you intentionally to decide to become known for. It is what will set you apart from everyone. I'm going to talk about intentional decisions today, because we have a lot of power to change ourselves, right? As we go through our journey of becoming more. What is your brand? First of all, it's how people see you and how they understand who you are, right? It's how people relate to you. It's how somebody decides, I think I want to listen to Debbie today, right? You don't have a sense or an understanding of that's exactly what it is, but that is what it is. It's why you showed up today. There was something about my brand that said, I'm willing to give Debbie some time to learn from her. So people are sizing you up. And I know that it makes people feel like unconscious or self-conscious, not unconscious, self-conscious. It makes you feel self-conscious. And, I don't want people looking at me. I have to say that in today's day and age, when we are on camera, you do have to do a lot of self-talk over. You have to look at yourself closely and be like, okay, I have so much wisdom to give to the world. I'm not going to worry about what I look like. I'm going to do it anyway. So people are sizing you up no matter what. We do it all the time. Let's be honest. We can say we don't do that. But when the waitress walks up to the table, our brain automatically does that. It automatically does that. We should be honest with ourselves about that. Okay. Yeah. We have a split second to get somebody's attention. This is probably, oh my goodness, you guys, this is honestly a bigger deal than ever. A scroll, I don't even know how long a scroll lasts. Are we going to get them to stop or not? So that's how important your brand is. It's whatever somebody sees about you. Your brand is the answer to only one question. What do people say about you when you are not in the room? There you go. That's what a brand is. We could close this whole training right at that. Yeah. What are they going to say about you? Your brand is you, because you're the business. Even if you turn out to have this giant coaching company, I'm part of House of Manifestation and part of Kathleen Cameron's world. And she doesn't call her business Kathleen Cameron, but she is the business. She is. She named her company House of Manifestation and Diamond Academy, but Kathleen Cameron is it. So we can think of a lot of other coaches that they are the business, no matter what their company is called. People are buying you. They're buying you. They're buying what you say. They're buying what they see and trust about you. Why does this really matter today more than ever? Because it's the only thing somebody cannot copy. The only thing that cannot be copied is you. You have a certain passion, but also you have a certain knowledge base that you have interpreted your own way. We could all go to the exact same training, and every single one of us would walk out and say something else about it. When you guys are wondering, there's all these other people that have the same thing as me. No, they don't. They don't have the same thing as you, because there's not one of us that has the same brain. Okay. Every single one of us interprets everything differently. So you have your own style. You have whatever perspective on your business is different than anyone else's. So nobody can duplicate that. You get to be exactly who you are today. But here's the good news. And I'm going to talk about this more. You get to become your future successful self today, too. That's called intentional reputation design. That's what we're going to talk about. But the reality is today we have AI and we have us. So do you want to separate yourself from that? I know the answer is yes. And we do that through branding. We do that through all of the various things like niching down, messaging, all of that. Today, we're going to talk about branding specifically, but every part of that is how you separate yourself from AI. I think all of us just need to decide how are we going to utilize AI in our coaching business and let it be our partner? Because then when we do that, we're saying, oh no, it's not, I'll include AI in what I'm doing. And there's also me. You also get me. So you want to discover and then just lean into what naturally comes to you. Part of what I had done in the past with our clients, and they're doing this on their own now, but is to figure out what your natural strengths are. Years ago, I bought the Strength Finders book for everybody, and I bought hundreds of copies of that. And I had people take the Strength Finders test. Now I don't do that now because most people have done Enneagram. There's the Colby test. There's so many different tests. And the purpose of that test is to figure out who you are and to be able to articulate it better and to be able to lean into what that is. That's really why you want to potentially take one of those tests if you're not clear on who you are. People will sense your authentic nature. And again, for me, once I took some of those tests, it actually really helped me to be able to say what I was good at and how I really stood out from everybody else. Okay, the names of the tests, the one that I was talking about was Strength Finders. And I'm going to give you just a quick example since we're talking about that. One of my strengths is responsibility. And so what I would do with people when we did this was I would go through what's the positive and what's the negative of responsibility. Responsibility, if you hire me as your coach, I feel like I'm in it with you. Like I want to have you get the result as much, if not more, as you do. That's responsibility. So how was responsibility working against me? I was doing the work for my clients. Instead of them writing their own marketing materials and learning how to market, I was doing it for them, which meant in the end, they weren't actually learning how to do it for themselves. That was an early lesson I learned of, wow, you can be responsible for people, but not responsible to the degree that you take responsibility and do their work for them. So I don't know what that looks like for you. That's going to be different for each one of you, but look and see what are the plus and minuses of each of your strengths or all the things that come up in Enneagram or whichever test it is. Enneagram was the other test that I mentioned. Colby, you guys that have taken some of those tests, you're welcome to drop the names of those in the chat if you want to. Just as a reminder, I'm going to try to keep you guys on mute so we can have a nice recording for you to listen to. All right. So the first part that I want to talk about is the visuals. This is the obvious one that we all think about when it comes to branding. We are talking about your logo, your colors, your fonts, whatever patterns you might use, and your style, right? Those are the visuals that will represent you. How do you want to go about collecting those and deciding what that is? There's many ways to do that. You could use Pinterest if you're a Pinterest user. Do not make this hard. You can do an old school poster board with magazine cutouts. It's basically you doing a vision board is what it is. Find the things that inspire you. You can find pictures of things that you really love. You can find your office style that you really love. This is our business right here. This is it. And by the way, I've worked for myself for 25 years. This right here was not here 25 years ago. Okay. We start out in whatever space we have, right? A corner of a bedroom. Okay. Now I have a different setup because I've been at this a long time. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just start where you are. When you create your vision board, you can take a look at it and you will notice some things that are like similar in patterns on it. It might be shapes, it might be straight lines, it might be colors. There will be things that are showing up repeatedly, and that's how you'll find out what your aesthetic is. Your style. The truth is your style is who you are, and it is part of it. But I don't want people to get hung up on I'm dressed up and you're not, because my style is this 7 days a week. It's not casual. So I can't be casual and feel empowered. What is it the style that you have that you feel empowered. That's the key. When you think about your style for your business, it has to be your most empowered style, whatever that is. When we think about creating a brand for your future successful self, imagine the person who feels like, a real badass. That's the person you want to think about the style for. So why does style matter? If you guys have known me, and I can only talk about myself, so I'm not bragging about myself, or I can only talk about myself instead of you guys because it's the best I have. But if you guys know me, you've already seen me look like this, right? If we have a consultation call together and you come to the call, there's no surprise. The only surprise might be is, wow, she looks just like that on a consultation call too, or just like that on Sunday afternoon. That might be the only surprise, but that is trust, right? You want to know that you can count on the way that I look. So that's why it's so important to find a style that is you, that really is you. So you don't have to get ready for anything, right? Your style will create confidence in you. That's why I said, what is your most empowered style? How do you want to be as the CEO of a successful coaching company? How do you want to be seen? That's the way you see yourself, right? You can intentionally decide that. This is an example of capturing your vision. This is crazy, you guys, because I actually did this maybe 2013. I don't have a date on it, but if I was to turn around my camera right now, which I can do after we're done, and show you what's in my office. Oh, shoot. I'm going to do it right now. Do you see that right there? That's on my board. That chair, that is on my board. Not because I intentionally went shopping for those pieces, but because that was my vision that I always had. Someday, when I'm a successful coach, I will have flowers in my office. I will have a red velvet chair. Those things were already in my sight. That's why vision boards are so important. So figure out what your style is and you work towards that. I didn't have that style in 2013. I didn't have that style for years. The next step is finding your colors. What are your colors? And there's all kinds of ways to do that. I told you you could look at the vision board, this right here, and I could get colors off of that. But you can also, I'm going to mute you, Wendy. You can also do something like this. You can go get a color analysis, which I paid like $500 for. I'm not saying that to brag, but the beautiful thing is ChatGPT can do it for you now. Yeah, you just put in some pictures of yourself. This picture right here, I literally took in my dining room a few weeks ago. I put that in there and I said, what is my color? And it literally came back with the exact same thing. I don't know if it's 500, but it was a few $100 that I paid for. And it told me what my colors were, the best colors for me, and they're the colors of my brand. So these are not my exact color numbers, but my brand is, if I was going to show you, it's almost that. What I did was I used Canva and I took a sample. I took the little eyedropper and I went on this photo and I actually took samplings of the colors that were on there. And that's these colors right here. And these are the 6-digit hex code numbers. So that's another way, because this is what's naturally in my closet. And just for the ladies who want to look at themselves on camera, I'll just tell you that honestly, you do look better when you wear a color that is meant for your skin tone on camera, and you do have to look at yourself. So that might create some confidence for you if you are looking at yourself and have a little judgment. So the brand is logos, it's fonts, it's the colors that we talked about. These are 2 brands that I created using Canva. I actually designed my own. I'm going to put you on mute, Wendy. I actually designed my own logos using Canva. I picked out the fonts. I found a logo in Canva that was similar that I liked, and then I just started making one. So when you go into Canva, you can look for brand boards that are in color palettes that you like, or you can start from scratch. I just started from scratch. In these brand boards, I utilized the colors that were already there. I typed in my name, whatever my business was going to be. I added some elements and then some pictures that I would use for inspiration. That became, if this was my brand, that would be my fonts, my color palette, and the style of my brand. The second thing we want to think about when we think about these 4 pillars is the feelings. What do we want somebody to feel when they encounter our brand? This is going to be so specific to your business, because some of you guys are going to do coaching around anxiety. What if you're coaching around anxiety, what feeling do you want somebody to experience when they come to your brand? Peace, calm. That's why I say my brand is supposed to exert confidence. I want you guys to feel like this lady knows what she's talking about. And the colors and the style of it and the way that I show up reflects that. So how do you want people to feel when they interact with you? Your brand is going to evoke some kind of messaging to the brain, to somebody's brain, no matter what. So how do you want somebody to intentionally feel? This is so important. If I was going to teach you guys all about marketing and messaging and all, that's just a simple question that you can even ask yourself before you do anything, before you post on social media. How do I want somebody to feel when they look at this social media post? Even that is part of utilizing your brand to the best and to the fullest measure. All right. The third pillar was about your mission. Now, I don't expect anyone to decide on their mission at this moment because that's a hefty one. It really is. But what is the thing that drives you? For most of you guys, it's going to be you became a coach because of this one thing. And I will say, sometimes there's the one thing that you're passionate about. And if you need to make a living, there's the other thing that makes more sense to be a coach around. Sometimes what you might think you became a coach for might not turn out, especially if you work with me, might be where I say, no, wait a minute, if we have to make a lot of money, maybe we should shift what we're doing and get something that we know we can sell a little bit better than this thing that you want to have as your hobby. So why you became a coach, what transformation you had, ideally is part of your niche and what had changed for you. I really think that your niche should move you to tears. That is a choice, you guys. Even if we have to pick a niche that's a money-making niche, because what happens, sometimes people come to me and they're like, I don't really want to do the same thing that I've done my whole life in my career. And I'm like, do you want to make money? Maybe it makes sense to do the thing that you did where you are an expert, but you can decide how that's going to move you to tears. And when I say move you to tears, I want you to be emotionally connected to it. I want it to have meaning to you, to where you will go and do the work for this thing no matter what. That's the idea, right? If you are an HR coach, I want you to be thinking about the woman or the man who is an HR professional who is literally the employees are coming after him and his boss is never happy with him. All the things that you can do to support an HR person, that's how you think about moving yourself to tears over your mission. You want to become magnetic. That's another thought you can have, you guys. I am magnetic, right? You show up on social media thinking you're magnetic. I can guarantee you the way you show up is different than you thinking, I don't know how to do this. All right. So let's talk about your message. That's the fourth pillar. Now, your message is, again, I couldn't go into it in this training. Your message is maybe even equal to your image. You've got to be able to learn how to talk about what you do. This is going to be the reason why somebody buys or doesn't buy. The first image and reason why somebody stops is what they see. The second reason why they stick around is because of what they read. Those two things are like the most powerful thing. And what I found is that coaches can't figure out what to say about themselves. So like they can never get very far. And they talk a lot about themselves. And it's not so much about themselves, it's about them. So you would have your own unique perspective. You would have your own lingo. Marketing is the ATM to your business. That's something I say all the time. If you're not marketing, you're not going to make any money. Networking is simply talking to people. It is not selling. Can you all imagine going to a networking event and having that one thought that I just told you? I don't have to go to a networking event and sell anybody anything. I just have to go talk. It's so much easier. So what is your version of that? What is your solution? Do you have a roadmap? We have a roadmap I can show you. I'll show you in just a few minutes. What is the unique way of explaining what somebody's going to get from you? So once you are clear on the four things that I just talked about, so much of your marketing, which is what we're all doing, we're all marketers, so much of what we're doing becomes easier, right? The marketing and even the way that we coach honestly becomes easier because we're so much clearer about who we are and what we're doing. Once you have those things figured out, even daily social media posts and emails and workshops, all that becomes much easier for you. When I talk about designing your reputation on purpose, your brand is like the script you give to somebody. It is the words that will describe you that people will say about you. That's what I said in the beginning. The question that your brand answers for somebody is, what are they going to say about you when you're not in the room? That's what you want to be able to have somebody describe you beyond everyone else. I want to talk about becoming an expert, and I can't not talk about this right now because it's such an exciting time for us. I'm going to go on and do the training. So I'm not here to sell you on the summit. I just want to tell you, this is one other way that you can become an expert in your niche. When we talk about reputation, you have to boost your reputation. That's why I did the Design, Live, Thrive Summit. I looked at our coaches and I was like, okay, how do I help them build that reputation, build that brand, become known for something? So I created a space where they could come and talk, where they could gain expert status. We would create the marketing that was lead generating marketing. We would do all the social media posts. These are all hurdles that coaches have to get past. How do we help them create their first funnel, get their first calls booked, and get paid? All of that is part of what happens in the summit. That's how you start to establish a reputation and become an expert in your niche. So when you think about your reputation, what do you want people to feel? These are questions. You can take a screenshot of this that you should be answering. How should people feel when they encounter your brand? And again, this is going to be so specific to you. I want people to feel inspired and confident. Wow, okay, I could do this. And this is the answer to what I've been looking for. What do you want to be known for? I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be known for being a good listener. I want to be known for being a strategist and for telling people what to do. I want to be known for giving answers. That is intentional reputation design. I tell people that I'm going to tell you what to do. If you don't like it, then let's have a discussion. We'll figure out what else you should do, right? I'm not always 100%, but I feel like people come to me for that. How do you describe what you do? I say I teach, I tell, and I show people what to do. So what do you want people to say about your coaching? Intentionally, I decide I want somebody to walk away and say, oh my gosh, Debbie did more than I thought, over deliver. I intentionally, once somebody gets in the program, I'm showing them things that they didn't know they were going to get. How do you want to be known? Again, this is all you decide it before you ever coach one person, or for some of you guys who are already coaching people, what do you want people to say about you? And then what are you going to stand for? For me, integrity is key. And I feel like right now I'm on this mission to cut the BS that is happening in the marketing world about coaches. I want to be like, let me be honest with you. It takes a little work to build a business. You're not going to make $100,000 tomorrow. The people that are telling you you're going to make $1 million, that's not going to be your story. It doesn't happen that fast. It can be your story, but not the way they're presenting it to you. So I want to be the truth teller, right? That's what I stand for right now, is against all the bro marketers. But you get to decide, or else you just let it happen. Which way is it going to happen? I would say you decide on purpose. Yeah, Rebecca, I will have a replay for you. So on purpose, or they get to choose what they say about you. The magic of doing the work now, before you have a huge following, is that you create the brand for who you are becoming. When I said, what do I want people to say about me? How do I want people to describe me? Another thing that just came up is I want people, I am a church girl, but I don't need to tell anybody that. I want people to say I'm the light. I am the light. And I don't want there to be a word associated with it. Oh, did you know, like, she's a believer? I don't need that to be part of it. I need to know that I was the light for somebody. So those are intentional. That's the first time, by the way, I've ever shared that publicly. So it feels a little uncomfortable, but that's what you decide about yourself. And then you get to ask yourself, am I showing up that way? Okay. So your brand becomes the mirror that reflects your future successful self back to you. And over time, you become that person. Over time, you become that person. So when you create your brand board, what we were talking about, the visual board, however it's going to be, you write your mission statement. By the way, you write that mission statement, you practice it, you say it, you repeat it. I can tell you what my mission is towards the end, or I'll tell you. And then you will be sharing that and living that, excuse me. You're creating a preview, basically, of who you are when you decide all of this today. Isn't that so exciting? The final goal is to create a cohesive brand. So one of the key things is we don't change our brand. There's no, do I still like blue? It doesn't matter if you still like blue. It is your brand and we're not going to change it. Here I am being bossy. That is just wasting time. Honestly, once you decide on a brand, provided it looks good and provided, there's not some, I don't know, mistakes done in it, something like that with the logo or something that need to be corrected. Like maybe the font is too hard to read, something like that. That might need an adjustment, but otherwise you just build your brand and it is your brand. Again, the brand tells people who you are. It should be described in a few words, and you want your brand to leverage your uniqueness, right? And again, that might be what people see about you. That might be what people say about you. You get to decide what that is. So you're not going to look at everybody else. When you go thinking about your brand, I do not say to our clients, hey, go look and see who else you like and bring it back to me. I'm like, let's go figure out what you like. And that's what your brand is. It is you through and through. So the person that you're studying is you. The person that you're learning about is you. So I have some homework for you. I need you to write out your mission. This will not happen overnight. I can tell you that. So let me give you an example. My mission is twofold. My ultimate mission is that I want everybody, I want the world to be able to understand what coaching is. I want girlfriends talking about coaches over dinner, about their coaches that they're working with. I want physicians referring coaches. And so that's what I want. Like, it's been so incredibly transformative for me. I want everybody to understand that and to work with coaches. My role in that is that I'm an expert marketer. So how do I help women be that are such good coaches? Because I am a certified life coach, but I don't hold any space, right? I'm not the good listener. I'm the one that tells you what to do. How do I help those women get themselves out there so they can be the transformative coaches? So that's my mission. It's two-part. What would your mission look like? And then, excuse me, you would work on this intentional creation of your reputation and your brand. All right. And I will answer questions again at the end. A professional brand will earn you money. It just will. When you become somebody who looks dependable, like they know what to expect from you. And you guys, that can happen in 5 social media posts. I didn't say you get a client from 5 social media posts. What I said is you're going to start looking dependable and people will expect something from you, that you'll be seen as a stable coach, right? You'll be seen as somebody who knows what they're talking about. If you go look at Instagram right now and posts that are cut off, like where they've reshared, done a screenshot and reshared, it's cut off. The immediate thing you think is, maybe you don't consciously think it, but you just keep scrolling by, right? So you actually start creating that reputation as being dependable and stable and somebody they can rely on right from the beginning before anyone ever reaches out to you. They will see quality in you by the way you show up. And again, you could be wearing the most casual clothes outdoor on a picnic table in a nature environment, and that could be speaking to your person. So the visual of your brands will showcase who you are. When you have a brand that is authentically and uniquely you, people will trust you. That's the bottom line. They will scroll by and you'll make a first impression. When they see you on video somewhere, which chances are they're all going to see us on video. I do have a client right now that is building her business without social media. So it's possible to do that. It's not what I recommend, but I do have somebody that is doing that. So they're not going to see her on social media. They'll see her in other ways. But the point is, you want to look the same. Right. And again, as I mentioned, when somebody comes to a consultation, there's no surprise. When they get here, it's, oh, there she is. So that is building a brand that is you, that you don't have to get ready for. You're always ready, right? You're always ready for your business because it just is you. So your brand is not trendy. That's again why I did not say go look to see what you like, because that's what other brands, I have built brands. I've been in business 26 years. I have built brands for myself that were what I thought they should be. And then I spent my time trying to figure out how to look like what I thought I should be. That left me trying to fit into what I thought I should look like. Am I showing up like they expected me to? It was hard work. Honestly, your business is exhausting when you're trying to be something that you're not. The best you can be is you. So, if you're a cusser and a swearer, then your brand should be about that too. Whatever it is that you is what it should be. Okay. So that's how you create a timeless brand. I talk about creating a brand and a business for a lifetime. I think most of us are here to do this one time. Like this is our second act or our only career that we're going to have from this point on. And the way I think about coaching is it's not like you couldn't do this forever. Seriously, you can make your own schedule. You can work more hours now if you want to and less hours later. So it really can be timeless. The process, here's the coach coming out in me. You better not take forever to do this because this is not how you build a business. You build a business by picking your colors, your fonts, deciding what your brand is, deciding, what your niche is, those things. And you build a business by marketing. That's it. This is only step one of my process inside of my program. This is step one. So don't go away from here and spend a week working on your vision board and then messing around back and forth in Canva, trying to figure out, because I'm telling you what, you could be in Canva for the next month and still not find something that you love. What I tell people in our training is that once we decide on your brand, the only work that you have to do is to decide you're going to love it. Because our brain loves to come back and say later, no, that doesn't look good. Or that color is the problem. That's why you're not getting any clients. That red that Debbie, you picked out, like they told you that was a harsh color. You should not use it. So I might go looking for another red, right? That's not going to get you any clients. Okay. So again, that is just step one. All right. So let me give the recap of what we just talked about. The visuals, which was your style, the logos, the colors, all of those pieces are part of your brand, right? The visuals of it, what people see about you. Even this right here is visual, right? It's even your corner of the world for those of you guys. And here's the other thing. It can be, again, I know I keep saying casual, but if any of you guys are YouTube watchers, and I am, it's so interesting how now there are people who are doing unedited, no special lighting, like they're just showing up as themselves, especially people over 50. There's a lot of that going on right now and people building huge channels like that. But that's because they're authentically themselves. So you get to decide how that's going to be. I'll just tell you one thing that is not in this training that is important is lighting. That's really the key to, you can show up any way that you want to, but you need to have bright lights because that is going to make the difference. That is not something I have in this training, but I highly believe that light creates trust, right? If you're sitting in darkness, just one more step, the light should be in front of you and not behind you. I have light everywhere, so mine's a little bit different, but if you have light behind you and not one in front of you, then your face has a shadow on it. And look, we don't like it. It feels not trustworthy to look at somebody who has a dark looking face. So make sure that's one of the secrets to my success, I believe, honestly, that nobody else is telling. So there you go. Here's the final warning though, of all that stuff that I just told you, your colors are not going to be the reasons why you get any clients. I know I just said it all was that, and it is true. Getting the perfect coaching name is not going to be the reason why you will get any clients. It's not. Messing with your fonts, unless for some reason, there's always an exception, unless your fonts are like scripty and curl, too hard to read. Okay, maybe. If your colors are so light, we can't see them, there's not enough contrast. Okay, maybe. There's a few exceptions, but most of the time, if you find yourself going back and working on that, you are just avoiding the thing that most of us don't want to do, which is talking about our business, making offers, helping people, putting ourselves on social media. So that becomes the part that is the harder part to do. Your niche could change. Now, I'm not a huge favor of that either, but when I talk about creating a brand for a lifetime, my niche has evolved. So I've been a business strategist and consultant for 26 years. In the beginning, I helped people in person. Then I helped wedding professionals online. Then I helped women in business. And then since 2021, I've helped coaches, but my brand has not changed. What happens when you have all of that stay the same, your following just goes with you. Yeah. I just started on TikTok recently. And so I have the people that are following me are wedding professionals. I haven't done anything in the wedding business for 6 years, but actually probably longer than that, 7 or 8 years, but they're the ones that are cheering me on right now because your brand, the people stay with you. All right. Your brand, once it's done, the question that you're going to have is now what? Okay. I want to walk you through what that process looks like. I want to answer all of your branding questions at the end. I know there's some questions here that have come up. Tice, I don't know if you're in a position to be able to get on the call here shortly, but that would be awesome too. If you are, you can let me know. You guys can meet Tice. So the question is, after you have a brand, it's going to be like, okay, now what do I say? Or how do I use my brand? And the bottom line is, how do I use it to get clients? That's always the ultimate question. How do I get clients? Right? What am I going to say on social media? That's what I need to know. Those are all legitimate questions, right? And the deal is that you could go looking on social media all you want to. You can go looking on social media. Let me make Tice a co-host just a minute. I was distracted. There we go. You can go looking on AI for answers. You might go look on social media too, but that's not where you want to be looking. I know if you are like everyone else, you have a whole bunch of screenshots of all the things you saw on social media that you're going to do that you're not doing. They just filled up your camera roll. But I find that if you don't know what you're doing on AI, you are wasting a lot of time. Guilty, right? You go on there and you start asking questions, but here's the problem that most of you are facing is that you don't even know what questions to ask, right? You ask for help me get a brand, but you don't have clarity around what your brand should be or could be, or what you need for a brand as a coach, or what you need for a brand as an HR coach, or what you need for a brand as a fitness coach. And that's just, again, step one. So there's always that question of, how do I know if I'm doing it right? And I want to go back to the comment that I said earlier. There's AI and there's you. So I'm just right now bridging the gap for you guys with me. I'm saying, yeah, you can use AI to search, but you're still going to wonder if you're doing it right. And getting the answer to do it you're right is me. That's how you will utilize AI and overcome that objection in your own business. That's an important piece for everybody to be thinking about right now, because AI is not going away, as you well know, right? So I want to show you guys our roadmap that will get you the fastest path to success. So why now? Every time I go do this research, which I did this morning, I am like, this blows my mind. In 1 year, the coaching market grew $1 billion in 1 year. I don't know where we're at in 2026 because we're not even into the first quarter, but $1 billion is massive. So a lot of people that are here right now, they're like, I need something extra for retirement. I need extra something, right? I need to do something different. And by the way, I always recommend, if you are currently working, absolutely stay currently working and build your business on the side. It's so possible. Why not do it that way? Why not double dip? Keep your job and build your business on the side. We actually have coaching on Monday nights. And last night we had 16 beautiful women on the call, most of who are working. And that evening call gives a possibility for them to build their business. So some of you guys want flexibility. And flexibility is created when you start building your business now. If there's a why now, it's if you want flexibility in the next 4 years, you start now, right? If you want flexibility, if I want flexibility to be off at 3:00 in the summer to go to the pool with my grandkids, I have to have had a business that can support me doing that. Okay. And our process, I'm going to get to that, but I'll just tell you, so many of our people have already worked with coaches, have already spent so much money working on processes that were not proven. They took one piece of something, like they went and they found a piece of software, Go High Level, that was going to get them their business built. That's one part. Don't anybody go get Go High Level. I just mentioned that. Okay. Don't anybody go do what I'm saying in these examples. That's only one part though, right? Just because you work with a social media strategist or you get somebody to help you with your social media, that's only one piece. Our thing is the entire puzzle, and our track record is proven. If you go looking for testimonials, we have endless testimonials of what we do. Our boutique process, where we help you build your boutique style coaching business, where we do not focus on paid ads. In fact, I don't even teach it. I only teach free marketing, and I focus on how to do this, is the gap that is not being filled in the business coaching world that I feel. There's a lot of coaches that want to sell you a course or show you one piece of it, but we show it all. So I'm going to introduce you to the Business Building Boutique. I'm going to walk you through that. Again, I will answer all of your branding questions at the end. I also want to make sure that I answer your questions around the summit. We have maybe as of right this moment, 20 of our 30 summit spots are already spoken for September. And it's because it's an incredible event. Most of those are our previous clients, at least 15 of them that have re-signed up for the summit again. So we offer everything. We offer the roadmap, the trainings, the things that you can copy. If you are a coach who needs to introduce yourself to your family and friends, you can copy our email, fill in the blank, and go tell people what it is you're doing now and ask them to refer you. If you want to have a freebie that you set up, you can copy our quiz. We'll teach you how to change it, how to change the words on it, and use our quiz. We also have a tech training where we teach you how to set it up. We have all the tech training. We have all the Canva graphics that we share. We have open coaching. This is a picture at the bottom, middle. Thais and I are there on the bottom. So that call is filled with 2 coaches. The rest are clients on there. That is where the gold is. We answer questions. We give you directions. We tell you exactly what to do. We give you feedback on what it is you've done and what it is you think you want to do. Thais is our mindset coach. So if you are not doing something and I've told you what to do and you know how to do it, you've explored it, you understand you're not doing it, then that becomes a mindset issue. That's okay. Maybe there's some imposter syndrome going on, or maybe you're not feeling good about asking for money. That has to be worked through, or all the strategy that I give you will not be taken care of. We have a Facebook group that's a small community of women where you can submit things and get reviews. This is our process. It's a 12-step process. You have access to 100% of it from day one. And I will tell you exactly where to start. Some of our clients might start on step 3 because they already have the first 3 steps done. Some of you guys might have those 4 steps done, and you might start on the next step. This is part of our profitable coach framework. Let me just describe this to you. We want you to be seen as successful before you've ever made $1. We want you to become well-known, and we tell you the process for that. Like, how do you gain expert status? We want you to learn how to market in multiple ways so we can find the way that works for you, multiple ways without spending money on paid ads. And then we want you to have a business that you can enjoy. How do you repurpose this? How do you not be in business jail working 7 days a week? Because that's not flexibility or freedom. When you work with us in the Business Building Boutique, everything that you need is in one place. Again, plus answers to your questions and direction every single week. We're not here to help you learn anything. I did not tell you I was selling you a course. We have materials to help you get the job done. We're here to help you build a business. We want you to take action. That is what we do. We talk about action all the time. What are you going to do? So you learn it and you get it done. And everything that you need is available here. We have tons of time-saving shortcuts. So again, we'll teach the tech. Like somebody mentioned, I love Canva. If you don't know how to use Canva, those graphics that we gave you will be of no use. But if you need to know how to create or update the graphics to your brand, I'll show you how to do it. If you need to learn how to pick your colors out of the picture, I'll show you how to do that. We have a 3-step formula for writing captions. We actually show you how to write your entire marketing message for your website if you need that. We literally cover every piece of it. We teach you how to sell, how to make offers, how to show up on social media, how to make a marketing plan for an entire year in 1 hour. We also have our Design Live Thrive Summit that we talked about that we just finished up in February. It was February 12th, 13th, and 14th. Again, 15 of our speakers have already signed up again for it. We actually have a separate program inside of our program for that, where we teach you how to write a signature talk. We review the talk. We help you create a freebie. We teach you how to grow an email list. We create all the emails, the marketing emails for you, 10 different emails for you to use. We do all the social media graphics and the captions, and we make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. The feedback stands for itself. People end up with booked calls that have never had calls. We have a client on here who booked 25 calls within an hour of her talk. Okay. So there are people, she never had a booked call before. So that's what happens when we help you orchestrate that. We have a VIP ticket that you can purchase as an attendee and you get coaching calls with it. So that's how you can sell your coaching. It is happening on September 12th. the 10th through the 12th. We do have 10 spots available, and that is it. We start our coaching for that right now. You start building your business, and our official summit coaching starts on April 8th. This is our process. Again, tons of testimonials. You can screenshot this if you want to explore what it is we do, but I can tell you these are all people who are doing the work at different degrees. Some people are celebrating that they launched their website. Some people are celebrating she did 44,000. Somebody else is celebrating that she got, I think she made 40,000 from November 7th to January 1st. Everybody is at a different stage because everybody has different goals, right? Not everybody wants to make that kind of money. Some people want to work with 3 people. One of our clients this morning said, I only want 3 clients. We provide support that I believe that you would say is unlike anything that you've ever seen because we're in your business with you. We're reviewing things. So again, we're the take action coaches. I would invite you to schedule a call with me to find out if the summit is right for you, if our fast track program might be a better fit for you, if our VIP program is right for you. At this moment, we have savings for up to 33%. Our summit right now is 75% off your summit seat. And we're also providing an extra month of coaching on top of our 6-month coaching. So schedule a time to see which one of those things would work for you. We also have a social media challenge that is starting on May 4th. That's headed up by Thais. She's our mindset coach. She's also a strategist, and she helps with the social media. That's super fun because if you've never been on social media, this will kick you in the pants and you'll get on social media, and that is key. So thank you guys for being here. Would love for you to leave your questions in the chat. Schedule a time. I'll leave my link in the chat for you, but also I want to pause for a moment and I want to bring on Thais with us so you guys can meet her and we will both answer your questions. Thais, let me pin you and let me pin me and get both of us up there. Hello.
Hey. Sorry, Debbie. I was with a client that just came back, by the way. She was our client, I think it's like maybe a year ago, and she came back now because she wants our support. And it's so exciting. So I just got talking to her. But yes, the summit is unbelievable. As you guys probably know, I am in love with everything summit related, mainly because it kicks your business like way up high so fast that then the mindset that we work through is, how can I keep up, right? Like, how can I deal with all of this that is happening? Because from the top of my head, I think all of our speakers had phenomenal success. So the summit I find it is a must. It is a wonderful way. If you are that type of person who likes to learn a lot, and then every now and then you're like, I do a little bit, but not here. Summit, amazing kick. And I didn't realize that the social media challenge was coming up so soon. When you said, it's like, oh, it's really soon. And it is something that our clients have loved, have asked us to do it again. And it's something that when you do it with us, there's zero excuse for you to not do it. Clients who started out saying that I don't want to post, I just want to learn. And at the end, like today, one of those clients, she trains me of how to use social media. That's how good she became, right? So bonuses are unbelievable. Thank you for sharing those things. I'm so excited that I get to participate in all of the bonus with you guys.
We have a coach who my social media is not as good as hers. She literally went from 400 followers. She had been on social media for a long time. She joined our social media challenge. And I don't know what number she's up to at this moment, but our social media challenge was in January. So we're only in March. So it hasn't even been 60 days. Look her up and see Thais. She went to over 20,000 followers on her social media account because she had never figured out what to say and how to put herself out there. Honestly, it's wow. So
21.1 thousand.
Wow.
I'm going to add her here so you guys can see.
Yeah, it's so fun. And what's interesting about her is one of our things that we encourage is we want everybody to do things their way. So in the social media challenge, we actually give you prompts every day. We have graphics available for you. We teach you if you want to record yourself. We teach you how to do this, how to edit. We teach you how to script it. You can use a teleprompter if you want. We have all those hacks. But then there's somebody like Michelle who was like, I think I'm going to maybe try this thing. And if y'all look at going from 400 followers to 21,000, that's because she was confident. She now knew what her niche was. She's very clear about her niche, which she was not before. And she had a successful business before, but it
An
just
author.
simplified what happened. She understood her brand. She understood how to talk about what she was doing. And so she had confidence and she did this. And by the way, she just re-signed up for another year to work with us. So that's super fun. We do set you guys free, but people like to stick around and we appreciate that. Linda, I have sent you a message about the summit, but I will provide that for you. We absolutely would love to have you sign up and save one of your seats. So yeah, I will put you on the list. All right. Any questions in here that I have not answered besides you sell waist beads that help you keep track of your weight gain or weight loss? Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Good. I'm glad you put your Instagram handle there. Anybody else who wants to share their Instagram handle on there, happy to follow you as well. The goal here is to schedule a time. You do have a question, Joanne. Okay, I'm sorry. Schedule a time to talk with me. The promotions that I just offered to you guys will be available through Friday of this week. Joanne, do you want to unmute yourself? And you can talk. You don't have to come on camera. You can just unmute yourself.
No, my camera is not broken on anyways.
Okay.
So listening to this, your summit was really eye-opening for me because I did want to do a business helping people get their emotions out and not listen to their little heads. But then I said, maybe I should just be a public speaker instead of getting. So I'm listening to all you're saying, and it's now I want to be a public speaker, not have my own business, but be a public speaker instead of teaching people through art. I'm so confused right now, but I think I want to go public speaking. Okay. Your opinion on that?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joanne, for the question. This is for everybody here. This is a good, I call it a quality question. This is a quality question that she's asking because I did have a conversation with her. And I do know that while this is a second act career, I also know that she would like to make money in her business. And I know that sounds funny when I say that because you guys are like, who wouldn't want to make money? But honestly, there are people here who want to serve. They join our program to learn how to do this. That's not their ultimate goal, is to have a huge business. As I mentioned, we have a client that we just talked to who only wants to work with 3 people. And she is dead set on that's it. That's all I'm going to work with, period. 3 people. Joanne, when you ask that question, I think the answer to that would be, what are you going to speak about that would be of highest value to people? And then how would you earn money from your speaking? This is when I say we know questions that you should be asking that you don't know. So if you're going to go speaking, it would be like, okay, how do you earn money from speaking? The idea is you'd get paid for speaking, but maybe not. So if you don't get paid for speaking, where would you speak and how would you make money? How would you grow an email list out of speaking? What would your offer be? There has to be an offer that you're giving everywhere. Offer to help in what way? So what would that look like? So yes, it might not be, Joanne, doing the art path that we talked about, but if you're going to speak, then there has to be clarity around what's the topic, what's the transformation that you're going to provide through your speaking experience or speaking workshop or however you're going to do it, speaking event. So those are some further things to think about.
Could I do both then?
So yes, you could, and no, you shouldn't. I can answer it 2 ways.
Okay.
Yes, you could, because what you could speak about is the art part. And I understand that's I'm not going to go into her niche with all of you guys, but yes, that would be, you could do that, speak on it. And the offer at the end is to help people with that part. Okay. So yes, you could do both. You could speak if it's in alignment with the art. So that would be one way of doing it. But the other thing that I would say is, no, you can't do both, because if they are not aligned, then that means almost like you'd be serving 2 masters. And it is very hard. I spoke with a beautiful lady yesterday who came to the call. And again, I won't say her niches either, but they were 2 niches that she said were aligned. And I'm like, they don't even fit together. They're aligned in your mind, but the consumer wouldn't see that. So you have to pick one path or the other. Otherwise, your marketing is confusing. You want your marketing to be so clear that somebody says, I absolutely know that Debbie is talking to me. She is the how coach who's going to tell me what to do and teach me how. That's what you want it to be, that clear. So I hope that helps you, Joanne. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Debbie, you guys can see her coaching right here. What happens, right? She will tell you how it is with the answer that you need to hear. And also the mindset side of this program, what we do a reframe. So whatever you have in your mind, like when you said, but can I do both? So Debbie's correct. You can't do two separate things. It's just, if too much, doesn't work. With that being said, we can shift your thinking and reframe how you are seeing two business to make it one. As a coach, your main job is not to coach, is to create the business. So if you don't create the business, the coach doesn't coach. The coach stays home upset that this is not working, right? So when we are here and the coach is doing the marketing, that coach that does the marketing can be a public speaker. How? Well, social media, workshops, summits, all of those things are part of being a public speaker, right? So what you're doing is that you are using this love that you have to speak up your truth, but you are talking about what you do as the coach. So yes, to answer you, yes and no. The actual strategic answer is no. You cannot, you can, but do you have enough time? Do you have enough energy? Do you have enough money to invest? If not, let's then reframe the two desires that you have and then create that you want to create. So that's how the mindset and the strategy work together.
Thank you, Thais. You're absolutely right. You're welcome. You're welcome, Joanne. Angelica, you put on professional organizing business for 11 years. You're planning to become an organizational coach. I can tell you we work with two of them right now. And here's the thing is there is never too many of one niche because every single person brings their own, like I was saying earlier in the training, like your brain and my brain see things in a different way. So what I think about organizing, even if we went to the same training, or we trained ourselves, right? You don't have to have a certification with coaching. So we trained ourselves. We would have a completely different approach to what organizing is, which is the beautiful part. One of our coaches that does that was on the call, Sherry, and we have another coach, Monique, which some of you guys might have seen at the summit. Your mission is to I'm going to read this message from Katie. Your mission is to give people the language to advocate for themselves. Oh, wow. To speaking medical professionals. That is awesome. You are so welcome. That is a needed service for sure. Honestly, just helping people speak up for themselves, period, let alone in medical settings, whether you said psychiatrist, dentistry, primary care. I love it.
So even this, right? I was talking to someone else today, a coaching session, just talking about, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with cancer and that was it, right? She has a thought of how she should go through that process, but her doctor has a very different approach. So this, I'm telling you, Katie, right now, so needed because that person would hear what you are saying. And that's why I heard, right? I truly noticed what you do. So I don't know if Katie is still here, but my question to you, Katie, is not even question, but sometimes it's good to put that self-responsibility, like the accountability, because if you have a process that you get to teach people how to do that, it is a responsibility to help them have that in their lives. So really taking that as I need to create this business because there are people, and I'm telling you that I met with one today who needs that right now. So that is the little soft kick in your pants to get this business going. For sure, you need to tighten your content and put yourself out there. That is extremely needed. And we can help you, by the way, not selling anything, but we are here. This is what we do. We help you get that into a very solid marketing message and create that business.
Okay. You want to help people with their dogs. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this. I don't know if that would be, and maybe you could come on. I don't want to say your name. You come on and tell me your name first. I could guess, but come on and tell me your name. Raise your hand if you're here.
Hey, my name is Tayada.
Tiara? Tiara. Okay, Tiara. That's a fantastic business. I got a dog sleeping right beside me and she has one by her too. And I am married to a vet. So there you go. All the way around, I'm a number one on dogs. What I would say to you guys about something like this is, now make sure you hear me all the way through what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I am not a fan of courses. While we actually have education, and I didn't call it a course, we have the education that you need. What I am a fan of, this is how we separate from AI right now. Everybody can go to AI and get information. So I just want to make sure that you're not thinking about just having a course that you sell, because how we excel right now today in today's market is by offering the information and the support both. So I don't know what you were thinking about, but I'm already telling you what to do.
Yes, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You're welcome. It's one of those things when I said earlier in the call that Angelica, I'll get to you next. When I said earlier in the call that I'm against all the bro marketers and I want to set the record straight on things, that's another example of, it's been sold that if you create a course, like people will get on a call with me and they'll say, can you help me create a course? I'm like, of course I can. But a course is nothing if you have no people. And they're like, what do you mean? Or they'll have 10 people that they want to talk to and you expect 10 people to buy. That doesn't happen that way either. You need a lot of people. Bye, Pamela. Pamela's one of our speakers at the summit too. You got to have a lot of people and you just have to know how to get the right people. Anyway, Angelica?
Yeah, sorry about the camera. I can't put it on. Something is wrong. I have a red triangle there with the exclamation mark. I've been trying. But anyway, so yes, I am an organizer. Debbie, we met at home.
Yeah, that's so
you
great.
were the lady that came to me and said, come on, let's talk. Come here over to our group.
There you go. That's
there
exactly
we go.
how it
That
is.
was a sign. That was a sign. And then I've been following you, and I knew that you do other things in the Diamond Academy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am an organizer. So when I've been thinking for a while to branch into the coaching part of the organizing, because I found that a lot of my clients need a holding hand, like hand holding, like a lot of times, like they don't even know if they need organizing, but they don't know how to let go of stuff. And I thought that doing this side and also teaching online people to add like a virtual aspect to my business, that would be great. Like even, and then you said about the courses, but I don't know about the courses, but what I was thinking more is like more like masterminds to get people in to learn, to be there, to talk about what they need to talk about, and then doing organizing. If they live in the Toronto area where I can drive, I can go to help them like physically, not just to do that coaching and then they say, okay, do it on your own. Some of them would do that, but some of them won't. And then I think rebranding, because right now my business is just organizing, right? Like hands-on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you come into the equation.
Yes, I can check all those boxes. So we have an organizer that just came to work with us and she's going to do, I'm not going to say specifically what hers is, but she was doing in-person organizing and she's wanting to get out of that. But what I said to her was, and I am all about figuring out how anybody can make money the fastest way. That's my number one goal. How do we make money the fastest way? If you need to, again, I know that sounds so funny when I say that, but not everybody needs to. So I told this particular client, I said, look, while you want to get out of in-person organizing, I gave her like 3 suggestions on how to get jobs pronto, immediately, which she did in 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's just accountability.
Yeah.
When you have somebody that's go do this thing and here's how you can do it, it's why I work with a coach. So sometimes you do the things like that to earn income while it's like bridges the gap while you are building a social media following, you're growing an email list, right? You're building up momentum for the coaching business that you're building online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I sent you a message, I think on Instagram asking about how to connect with you, but I don't know if you got it, because it was one of those answers to the courses that you do online, to the YouTube episodes or podcasts. So I was like 318, 320. I don't know. I listened to all, but then I thought maybe you don't answer to those because they are
I am
automatic.
so sorry. I'm
It's
glad
okay.
you're here. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
came, because I wanted to see how we connect like more. I think that is a option you can book a call with you, right?
Yes, the link
Yeah,
is
yeah.
right there in the chat. Yes,
Okay
yes,
then.
you
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
that. Yeah, I
We'll
would
do
love to
that.
be able to support you in your
Yeah,
business.
of course.
And we
Of
can talk
course.
about that for
All
sure.
right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else on here got a question? Judy Herman, nice to see you here. Everybody else have a great day. Cheryl's sister Barbara is on here. I'm calling her out. She's off camera right now, but Cheryl's sister Barbara, there she is.
Hello, hello, hello.
I
Hello.
need to meet you because I hear amazing things about you, Barbara.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get there.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
you will.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And looking forward to working with you all in the future,
Yeah.
Perfect.
possibly near future,
That sounds. I know that you're going to go to next week to meet Cheryl and do your.
at the conference.
Yeah. Why can't I
Yeah.
think of what that's called? What's your certification that you're doing?
Oh,
Maxwell, John
it's
Maxwell.
John Maxwell, yes. The
Oh,
IMC certification,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank
you'll
you for
be
being here.
all right. I'm happy you all had this again, and I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Okay, that sounds
Okay? All right.
all right.
Okay.
Everybody else, have a beautiful day. Get on my calendar. Listen, those summit spots are going to go, and it really is an incredible opportunity. Thais, by the way, was to wrap this up. Last thing I'll say, Thais was a client who actually spoke at our first summit and also created a wildly successful business on her own and now works inside of our program. So I always want to make sure that whoever is in my world has done the thing and has experienced what it's like, because it's not easy to do it. So that's done it and lived it and experienced it to be able to support people in the best way
Yeah.
anyway.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you guys.
And again, the scheduling link I just added to the chat again. If you guys are still here, you're probably here because you have that little thing in the back of your head, right? That what if, what is it? Get on a call. Like that is the best way for you to see how we work, how we can help you, and especially to see even if the business is viable. Because sometimes you create so much drama in your head that all you needed was just very small shift of what to do in the business for things to take off. Get on a call. Let's talk a little bit, explore what could help you and how. And we're here to support all of you guys.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Thais. By the way, you do talk to me. That's another thing people are always surprised about is, oh, wow, you're on the call? Yeah, I run my business and I have the calls too.
Yes.
Anyway. All right. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you.